for stories when you started getting behind the wheel. I didn't specify like driving what. Nothing about driving stories for me, and it goes back to my grandpa's house. My grandpa Sweat. It was the coolest place to go as a kid. Grandpa always lived on kind of a lot of land and kind of a pseudo farm kind of thing going on. And that's where I started driving. I was probably, I'm not sure, 5 or 6 years old. And this wasn't the like steal the keys and go drive the car into the garage story kind of thing. But my grandpa had this little riding lawnmower. And at like 5 or 6, I mean, again, you gotta understand, in Michigan and out in the country kind of farm, it's not like Grandpa had a manicured, perfect lawn. You know, it was just grass. So Grandpa got the great bonus because the grandkids would come to visit, and then the grandkids wanted to drive stuff. So he got to mow the grass for free. Didn't have to do anything at all. And you know, I remember being this little. It wasn't like, you know, like your Toro or, you know, whatever. It was this tiny little one that 5 or 6. And I think that I am so cool, right? Because I'm driving the riding lawnmower, and I am cool on the riding lawnmower. I mean, does anybody remember? Do you have this experience? Because apparently you didn't, because everyone's kind of looking blank. But if you were there, you knew how cool you were at 6 years old to be driving. You know, you might run into a rock here or there. You know, it didn't matter. It was a little, you know, but I was cool. I was probably going about 2.5 miles an hour, but I was super cool. I mean, me. And the riding lawnmower. Grandpa's house was awesome because it was the place for riding, driving stuff, because we kind of progressed on from there. There was always stuff to drive at Grandpa's house. I remember one time we were there, and you know, grandpas are way cooler than parents. Okay, grandparents are way cooler than parents. You know this already. If you're a grandparent, it's so much better to be a grandparent. I remember I don't remember what was going on, but I remember that Grandpa was pulling this trailer on a tractor from somewhere to somewhere. I think from one piece of property to another. I don't remember what it had on it, but I remember this, that Grandpa made it to where, like, my brother had the steering wheel or something, I had the throttle or something, and my dad was hanging on for dear life, and Grandpa was hanging on for dear life, and he made us kind of feel like, you know what, it really did take all 4 of us to drive this tractor down the road, you know, and we're going again, you know, tractor. We're not going fast, 5 miles an hour in a big red tractor down the road, but we're feeling uber cool, you know. There we are. And we grew up from that too. I don't know if any of you guys remember this. Any grew up around farms or had grandparents on farms. Grew up from there to the Ford tractor. How many of you guys remember the gray Ford tractor? Anybody? Okay, there's like 3 or 4 of you. Okay, good. These were the coolest tractors ever because they were like the perfect size to give like a 10-year-old. You know, and Grandpa had space. He always had acreage, and it was great because you get on the tractor and drive over there, and then you would drive back over here, and then you would drive back over there. I mean, if you really think about it, it's pretty boring, you know. Just, but when you're 10 and you're at the wheel of a tractor, you were cool. I mean, you're right up. So you're like, not really. You never drove. You didn't get to drive until you were 16, so just deal with it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You were lucky. And there was motorcycles, which were great. Grandpa then got the 3-wheeler. And you guys remember the 3-wheelers? You know, the tricycles of death. Yeah. They then went to 4-wheelers, which are marginally safer, only marginally. The 3-wheelers are great because they're kind of like 4-wheelers, but we had done the motorcycle thing. We hadn't done the 3-wheeler thing, and hadn't learned that you're supposed to lean to the outside when you turn, not the inside like you normally would. Again, good thing there was a lot of space in Grandpa's land to careen around while we figured out how to drive the stupid thing. Driving is fun. And then, let's see, driving from there, it progressed up to, my parents moved to Texas, and I was a freshman in high school, and I went home. It's like Christmas break or spring break or something. I was finishing the school year out up in Michigan. And my mom was crazy. My mom was certifiably crazy. She gives me, no comments, she gives me the keys to her brand new Isuzu pickup truck. Like, here, go drive around the subdivision in a stick shift. I've driven tractors, you know, it's no big deal. And the silly thing about this is it's nighttime. Number one. And number two, in Texas, at least the area we lived in around Dallas-Fort Worth, all the houses had alleys behind them. Your garage backed up to an alley on both sides. Your garage did not face the street, it faced the alley. So she unleashes me on the alleys, where the cats, dogs, and small children are. Driving in the Trooper. Not the Trooper, it wasn't a Trooper, it was a Susan pickup. Driving around. 14, 15 years old. Just driving around. See, now they have this cool stuff, and this makes a lot of sense to a parent. Now you get your license, you can get your permit at what? 14, 15?
Yeah.
14 and a half? Yeah. And then you drive like for the rest of your life with a parent. Now, from a parent's perspective, if you have, kids, this makes a lot of sense. Can I get an amen? The longer that child drives with someone. But if you're a teenager, this is the stupidest thing in the entire world. And why is that? Because mom has the emergency invisible brake on the passenger side.
Amen.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, you're driving in your car, and there's somebody like 3/4 of a mile ahead of you. They tap their brakes twice, and mom is freaking out on the other side. You stop! You stop! She's hitting that emergency brake, making holes in the floorboard. Just stop! 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 And you're like, I am trying to concentrate, Mom. I'm trying to be a responsible driver. My driver's ed teacher taught me to bring the car slowly to a nice gradual stop. I'm trying to look ahead, and you're freaking out over there. This is not calming for a teenager at all.